This is from about 1960. It's made by Marx. It's a 3230 Holiday Turnpike set. And it's a little battery operated, hate to call it a slot car because you don't control them. They run at their set speed. The outer box, the box top's in very nice shape for 50 years old. The box bottom is decent, but it's got one end flap missing. This is a little bit missing, it appears, but overall most of it's there. Got the instructions, and we've got the roof and some cars. This is from an interesting time period in that this base is all nice lithographed tin, and other parts of it are plastic. So it's kind of a transitional period where they were still using both lithographed metal and plastics. The part that kind of interested me a little bit in a way, because of where I live, is the Knott Inn. And I live in Southern California, close to Knott's Berry Park Farm. Here you see I've installed a couple of new batteries, and the batteries drive this motor. And the way it works is off the shaft here of the motor is a real long spring, and the spring loops all the way around through here, and that's what drives the cars. I should have pulled the car out ahead of time so I wouldn't be fumbling around, but anyway, I'm not sure if it'll show up, but here's one of the cars that comes with it, and if you notice down below the car there's a couple little pegs, and those pegs, when you drop it on the track, the pegs will catch in the coils of the spring, and as the spring is rotating, it acts like a screw and pushes the cars along. Here's the assortment of cars that I got with it. They're all pretty plain and simple for the most part. They're just this red plastic, and they all have that peg down below. It would have been nice if this set would have come with a couple other colors, because it's rather blah looking with a bunch of red cars running around. But one of the things that they did was also with the set, and they're all missing except for this one. There you can see the peg sticking down below it. They came with this little clip-on adapter, and you could put that clip-on adapter on a die-cast. In this case, this is a Marx die-cast piece, but you could also use like a Tootsie toy. And here you can see I've got the roof on the garage, the control shed, and here's the controller, which is an off position and a high and a low speed. Yeah, I've got one of the cars on the track, and it didn't work when I first got it, and all I did was jiggle things around a little bit, and it started working. And of course, the spring flopping around in that groove is somewhat noisy. And it does do that little jerk every now and then. Like the cars, part of it gets hung up on the switches somewhere. And here we'll throw that switch. Now the car will go that way, and you have to throw the other switch. And now the car will run through the tighter loop. Throw the switch back. Throw the opposite switch back. And it'll sit there and go around. Really exciting toy, right? I could see where, at least in today's day and age, with all of the electronic and exciting toys, a kid would get bored pretty quick. But for its day, it was kind of neat. Now you see what I mean by it being a little boring with all red cars. But anyway, there's all of the cars running in it. And at least it works pretty good. This is the slower speed. Still overall kind of neat for a 50-year-old toy that still works well. My plan somewhere along the line is to bypass the battery and run a DC controller for like an HO train. And that way you can control the speed a little bit better. And I'll actually probably put it somewhere in the display it as part of a train layout and train display once in a while.